We just finished sending data from our UI front end to backend server using JSON. We processed the data from our backend using Go. Now we want to take from our wallet server the data to our blockchain server. We want to send a request using transactions post. At this time, when we send our transaction data, let's refer back to this visual. There are 5 pieces of information. They are public key, signature, sender and recipient's blockchain address, and our value. We need to send these 5 pieces of information to our backend, so this is what we're going to be working on from now. We'll access projects, then inside block, we have blockchain.go. Within this, we want to scroll all the way to the bottom and add on another method. We want to create the struct for our request that's going to be sent to our blockchain node side. And we'll start off with typing transaction request and begin creating our struct. We have this server and we'll be sending the request from this server to this one. So first will be sender blockchain address. Make this a pointer for string and later on check for nil. Next, we'll be writing JSON sender blockchain address. Next line will be recipient blockchain address, followed by JSON recipient blockchain address. Then we have sender public key, and for this it will be JSON sender public key. This will be followed by value float32, then JSON value. Next, we want to send our signature, so this will be JSON signature. Then on to our validation. It's the same as before. We'll write validate bool if sender blockchain address. If this is nil, or if TR recipient blockchain address is nil, or sender public key is nil, or TR value is nil, or TR signature is nil, then we return false. And if not, we return true. We'll use this struct and next access our wallet_server.go. Once we've done that, we want to create our transaction. We need a signature for our transaction, so we'll write wallet new transaction and include our private key, public key, sender blockchain address, and the recipient's blockchain address, and add on value. And as for signature, this will be transaction generate signature. We want to send our signature str to our blockchain node side. So if you recall, we created signature string. And this is how we create signature. Earlier on, we created transaction request. In here, we're going to include all the information that we just created. So this will be sender public key, and then our value 32 followed by our signature str. Next, we'll use JSON Marshal and send our JSON data to our blockchain node side. Now, regarding how to send this information, again, this is the Go document that I have pulled up, and here it mentions how to make post requests. We do HTTP post followed by the URL, content type, and then buffer. That means we have M, we use the Marshal method, and with the byte method called new buffer, we make it into a buffer and place it here. Now on to how we actually write this. We'll write buff, then bytes, new buffer. Then we include our byte, which is marshaled. Then comes our response. We won't do error handling, so we'll simply write post followed by our URL. This is WS, gateway, and this blockchain node's address is set up. So this URL along with transactions, followed by application JSON for our content type. Then comes our buffer. With this, we'll get our response here. And if our responsive status code is created, then we use 201. In this case, we'll return write string, w string, utils, JSON status, success. If that isn't the case, we'll write string, w string, utils, JSON status, fail. That's all we need to write, and let's restart our server and access the page from our browser. We'll enter some random numbers for our address and for the amount. For example, 1.0 for the value. After this, we'll click on Send. When we click on OK, this will fail. In which section is this failing? It's this section, HTTP post. Our backend blockchain server isn't running right now, but on top of how we aren't able to access it, we should be getting an error here. It isn't showing right now because we're not doing error handling, but if you are planning to write the code without any errors, please do so. And in this course, error handling will require writing longer codes, so I'll be omitting this step. But if you are interested in error handling, please do so. And also, for example, this is our parse error code, and let me restart the server. When we do, we'll leave this empty and click on Send. Then we get parse error. But in our UI, send success is displayed. Here, we're simply going to be returning IO write string fail. We'll access index.html, and previously I wrote this send success portion directly on our console. Our request is a success, but if our response included a fail, then we'll use parse JSON. And inside this if, we'll make this response into JSON format. Then if fail exists within our message, then we want fail to be displayed as our alert. You could write your code this way. Now, let's restart our server, and we'll also reload our UI. We'll click on Send, then OK, and then we get our failed message here. What's returned here is message:failed. When you want to run the program, depending on the message or when it's not a post request or internal error, we'll want to use this error. How you want to proceed depends on the front-end side of JavaScript migration, so how you want to do debugging and approach error handling approach is up to you. Now let's go back to our wallet_server.go. We've completed the section where we send the transaction data to our blockchain node side. And now let's move on to creating our blockchain node side's API.